All right.
I screwed up because I wanted. Oh, you want to go ahead?
Oh, now of course your connection just got terrible.
No. What does it sound like? Three, two, one, one, two, three.
You sound a
One.
little robot-y. It's mostly your camera that's really bad.
Hmm. Hmm. All right, hold on. Is it still terrible?
Yeah.
Damn it! I thought that would help. I cast a
Yeah,
spell and
your
it didn't work.
wizardry is powerless here.
Yeah. Should I put it back on Wi-Fi?
It's in the green. It seems like it fluctuates more on T-Mobile and is consistent, but consistently not great on Wi-Fi. Well, I guess Wi-Fi is fine. We'll see.
All right. How's that?
Fine.
Okay, cool.
You're at like a lime green out of red to green, so not too bad. Whatever the fuck that means.
Uh, I forgot to print off a picture that I'd made of old Nelson, and I was gonna have it as my face.
We could.
I,
I wish
I
I had it
totally
on my
forgot about.
computer. I could just put it where his face normally is.
Malibu Most Wanted. It was for jokes, guys. Just shut your goofy ass up. You know damn well you want to grill, you dork.
Did you watch his Drewski video?
No,
Ah, he didn't like the
no.
Drewski thing, man.
Well, it's because they went after oh weirdo girl.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dude, I'm sorry, but when you watch the video of her in real life walking out to fireworks, I mean, you're open for jokes. Like that's
Yeah, well,
crazy as hell.
yeah. I mean, the whole defense of comedy, though, with
And
all the Dave Chappelle, like every all the trans people that worked at Netflix did a walkout whenever Dave Chappelle had his special and all that shit. So like, if one thing is fair game for jokes, then everything is. Like, that's where I'm
yeah,
at. Like,
I'm 100% joke. I mean, it's for comedy. Clearly, even if it doesn't hit, the intention's still the same. So I don't. It doesn't. You have to
yeah,
let it ride.
like if you can joke
Which I don't
about
think
people's
Nelson
identity
wasn't
and
saying not to
race
do
and
it.
oh,
But
sorry.
Nelson wasn't saying not to do it. He was just saying he didn't find it funny, right?
Well, he also implied, yeah, but he also implied that he thought Candace Owens could have paid Drewski for like a character assassination piece on Erica Kirk, which I just
Which is
think,
hilarious. I hope that's true. That makes it even better.
I just think, I don't know. He said, well, his reasoning for that was that he thought it was so unfunny that there had to have been some other motivation for it other than humor.
It wasn't very funny. I grant that. Like I didn't find myself. My favorite part was whenever he walked out at the very beginning of the video dancing. That part
Yeah.
was funny. Like that was the best
Well,
part, and then it kind of tailed off after that.
I think, I don't know if it's necessarily funny as much as it is like just satirical in the sense that like he was literally doing the same shit that all a bunch of conservative women do, and it's like
Right.
kind of pathetic that that isn't even necessarily a caricature. It's just reality. It's like these way over
Yeah.
made up fucking underqualified chicks who are just pandering to whatever bullshit
I mean,
Trump is saying on any given day. And
if I got murked, right, and then my wife came out to fireworks, like I'm haunting her. That's
yeah,
crazy. Like that's
yeah, I mean, there's definitely a way to do it, but that ain't it. I mean, I'll still give her
and
props for how she treated everything at the like memorial celebration thing or whatever when she forgave the guy. But other than that, the whole thing has been kind of a shit show on her part.
her whole background and like her ex boyfriend was there. Like the whole thing, dude, is just it's gotten so wild. I don't. It's crazy. I'm not even watching Kansas. I'm watching other people cover Kansas and stuff because I don't like. Well, I don't want to watch Kansas. So it's like some of it and the proof behind some of it is just wild. Like I don't know.
It the problem, yeah. I mean, the problem is anybody who dies like him who is as controversial and influential, there's going to be crazy shit. I mean,
Oh
not
yeah,
even.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm not even saying she's behind it. Nothing. I'm just saying, just in general, it's just it makes the story wild.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I wanted to argue with Nelson about his Drewski take, but he couldn't show up, so I'm
Yeah,
bummed.
he was scared. He was scared. That's fine.
No, absolutely, he was terrified that you were gonna have an AR
Oh.
augmented fucking version of his face on your face.
Yeah, I don't. Well, Drewski's he's very funny though. He's also really funny on podcasts, which is where I've seen most of his work. But like when he's on Theo and stuff, he's really good. He's really funny. I like his laugh.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't have much on the Drewski thing since you probably don't have the same position as Nelson. But I'm curious. We said we wanted to talk a little bit less politics. So before the politics, I want to ask your take on something. And there's a tiny chance that the person I'm talking about might actually watch this, but I don't think it's very likely. So we'll see. To summarize a very long story, Tessa and I, my girlfriend, who we've been talking about marriage.
Girlfriend.
Yeah.
Also known as Frank.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna make the joke. I was gonna let you make the joke. I was gonna say we respect pronouns here, okay? No, so Tessa, who as far as I know was born a biological woman, as far as I know. So we've known each other for a very long time, and we have a bunch of mutual friends, my business partner, and just a bunch of people that all kind of have known each other for a while.
She lives out of your state, right?
Yeah, she's a state over. And that's how we started dating, because we were at a vape trade show in Vegas and just kind of hit it off there a couple of years ago, which I never thought I'd do long distance, and it's obviously not ideal, but just kind of worked out that way. So there's this guy who's been in the friend group a little bit longer than me. They all used to basically manage and work at this nightclub together way back in the day. And this guy, trying to think, he's you got to know him. He's like very dry asshole, very silent, and just like kind of the asshole, but everyone kind of likes him. You know that guy in the friend group, right?
I guess. Well, not really, not to that description, but go ahead.
I know how to describe it. He's like,
I know people like that, but
he's such an asshole that everyone kind of wants his validation because he's so quiet and judgy. And I guess
I don't know anybody like that.
I don't know. I wish Nelson was here because he knows the guy and he could help kind of describe him. But he's an okay dude. I'm not a big fan of the guy, but regardless, this guy. So I was kind of newer into the friend group. I was like a year or two after sort of everyone got to know each other, and he never really liked me. And I don't really give a shit. I can get along with anybody. Like 2P1 and I did the podcast. I can get along with people who talk shit about me, whatever.
Right.
But Tessa has been friends with this guy on and off for 12 years at this point. They talk every few days or, depending. The guy's very needy. So occasionally, he'll get mad because he hits Tessa up and she doesn't answer. And then they don't talk for a couple months and then, on and off. But he's known her so long, and we were talking about who we would invite. Oh, sorry. I'm getting a lot. So the guy just kind of treats me like shit. I've always gone out of my way to say, what's up, try to shake his hand, try to talk to him. And he just kind of doesn't ever really acknowledge my existence. I don't take it personally, but it's just kind of a dick, thing to do. And to keep it short, he did something really fucked up. I don't want to get too personal on the internet, even though very few people watch this. He did something pretty fucked up.
Send it.
I'll tell you after. It's a long story. He did something pretty fucked up, and I basically just I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop trying to even treat this guy with respect. He doesn't care, I'm just gonna treat him, as if I don't like him, whatever. And so I just dropped all pretenses and started treating him like shit. And I still see it, I see him at baby showers and all this stuff because, like I said, we have a lot of mutual friends.
You go to baby showers?
It's my business partner's wife's baby shower.
Why the fuck?
Well, I don't know. So I thought it was just a chick thing too, but evidently it was like an everybody thing. So
I don't even go to those.
Yeah,
that's even more gay. I don't do that. Sorry, I just added to it. That's crazy.
I don't know. It was an everyone thing. It's my business partner's wife.
I don't even know
not go.
You say friend group. I don't even know what the fuck that is. But keep going.
Well, it's mostly on the Tessa side of things, but.
Y'all are young dorks. I'm too old for this. Keep going.
Trust me, Nelson understands. That's it. It is what it is. Y'all. I'm not super, involved in all that bullshit. But whenever we're all together, we hang out. yeah, so I just started kind of treating him like shit. And evidently he's very mad at me because I've started treating him exactly like how he treats me. But I was talking to Tessa and I asked her, I was like, well, should we invite this guy to the wedding if we get married? And she thinks that we should because obviously he's been a very big part of her life. And I'm just like, I really don't want someone there who's only ever treated me like shit.
You're asking for my opinion?
Yeah. What would you do?
My view on this is going to be vastly different from everybody else's, just because I've been with my wife since we were in high school. So I have some hard ground rules that I don't play with. So, like, by example, this applied to us for bachelorette parties for us, like our wedding, and moving forward. Neither one of us are allowed to do those. Does that make sense? Like, I have a hard stop on that.
No bachelor parties or?
Well, you can, like, if there's going to be like fuckery involved, if there's potential for fuckery,
such as like strip clubs and stuff.
All that, yeah. Like, because I've seen through friends and stuff and family, I've seen so many catastrophes unfold from stuff like that. So I just go, why even tempt it? Why even mess with it? Why even like jeopardize your future for one night, right? So I don't do that. On both sides. And then when it comes to like friends and stuff, again, my situation is different. So I don't really do like guy. What do they call this? What was your generation called? Like hanging out with the guys?
Platonic friendships with men, or I don't know.
What? See, you use a lot of words just then.
Platonic.
I don't even do.
And friendship.
Well, I'm just saying, yeah, I just don't fucking. I don't do that shit. Like I don't like if we're hanging out, I'm hanging out with everybody. You know what I mean? And I don't do. Like I'll go. What I do with my friends, where my wife's not involved, is like going to the gun range, and even then she'll go sometimes, or like.
So you guys do everything together, or?
Yeah, basically.
Except for baby showers.
Yeah, I don't do that. That's normally family stuff. I just don't go. That's female. That's female stuff. I don't do that. I don't think, babe, have I ever done a family shower or a baby shower? I didn't even go to my brother's, and his was a dual sex thing. I didn't even go to that because that's gay. I don't do that. No.
Why is it gay?
It's gay. It's the gayest thing ever. I'm not doing that at all. So anyway, but when to answer your question, like, how would she feel if you had what does he look like? First of all, like, is he a threat?
6 foot. He's the guy who I told you wouldn't want to pick a fight with.
Yeah,
he's 6'7", black cop who has like hands the size of my head.
Yeah, you got to take his knees out. But yeah, dude, there's no way. Like I'm not even just by him, but like I wouldn't. So imagine if you had like a Shakira friend, right? Okay. Like, what are we doing? Like, she's not gonna be down with that. Like, I don't. That would never happen. Like,
I think she would be down with that, but
she had lived enough then. that's stupid.
Well, the thing is, we trust each other. Like, I don't know. I mean, I live 6 hours away. If I wanted to fuck around, I would. Like,
it's not necessarily a trust thing. It's a respect thing. Like, I don't like. By example, like one of my friends came to my house one time when I wasn't home and stayed there, and she texted me. She was like, "Hey, he won't leave, and he's just waiting on you to get here." And I was like I almost got in a fight with this dude. Like, we had been friends for over a decade, and I almost beat the shit out of him. Like, that's disrespectful. You're gonna be in my house without me there with my wife. Mm-hmm. Like, that's just disrespectful. Like, so so to invite somebody to a wedding that's already disrespecting your husband, it shouldn't even be a conversation. She should say no. To me, it's a red flag because that's like straight up. Again, this is coming from a different perspective because my wife and I's relationship is way different than anybody else's I've ever met in my entire life.
Yeah.
So other than my parents probably, but like I just don't play those games, dude. Like, if I feel disrespected in a situation, she's gonna back me 100%. Even if I'm wrong, behind closed doors, she'll explain it to me. But not in public. Like, we're a unit, and you're not.
She said,
it goes both ways.
She said if I didn't want him to come, that it's fine. Like,
oh, okay, fair
yeah.
enough.
So it wasn't like she was insisting on him coming or anything. It was like how do you feel about this? And I'm just like, if he, and the thing is, the guy's an instigator too. Like, so if he tried something, I mean, she even said if he tried something, there's a good chance her family would kill him. But it's like, what
the fuck? You like the lizard? Lizard.
Hell yeah. bearded dragon. It's pretty sick.
You can have the
What's
lizard.
his name? Her name?
It's
Their name?
Pixie.
Pixie. Very
Yeah.
appropriate name for a reptile.
But no, I don't know. I mean, I also don't know him, right? So uh, I'm assuming he's probably into her. If I had to guess, this is a wild guess of mine.
It's a weird thing, dude. So this guy, I guess I haven't said. I mean, this guy is constantly cheating on his wife. Takes regular trips to like Thailand, Colombia to go fuck
Oh,
a
he might
bunch
be
of
into lady.
prostitutes.
He might be into lady boys.
You never know.
He might be into you. That's
no,
crazy.
trust me.
That's what it is,
so.
dude. He's got sexual frustration because he can't get you, and he's mad at her.
He's like, I really just want this fucking liberal snowflake guy, and she won't get out of my way.
Oh, that's scary.
No, dude, no, I don't think so. I mean, could be, but the guy, he's a piece of shit. Like, he doesn't respect anyone, basically. I don't know how else to describe it. Obviously, I'm biased, but I mean, I think Nelson would probably back me up here. The guy's just kind of a piece of shit.
And you've sat him down and talked to him about it.
That's what I was planning on doing. Is I think he's
actually, if you have a genuine conversation with him and he still continues to do it, fuck him at that point. Like, and then everybody should cut him off at that point, like that, because that's not well. And if he's doing all the things that you say he's doing, that just shows the kind of character he has. And I wouldn't associate with somebody like that anyway.
Yeah. Well, the only reason it's really an issue is because I don't know, and I say this, and I feel like the more I say it, the more it sounds not true. But I have like extremely high tolerance. So, like I said, I'll just take I'll take the hits, and I'll just be nice and try to engage with them or whatever. But if I was more sensitive, this would it would have been a different conversation way long, a long time ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the intention, was to have a conversation with him, and if he I don't think it's going to go well, but I mean, if he can actually handle it like an adult and we can come to some like respectable resolution, then I'm happy to invite him. But
how old is he?
Late 40s, maybe.
Oh wow, so he's there's nothing going to change that.
Yeah, I mean, he's super man child at this. Like, yeah, he's super immature,
and he's the boot of the state. Very fun.
Oh yeah, he's like very stereotypical, like old school cop. Like, probably doesn't enjoy the fact that he has to wear a body camera and shit like that, because he'd rather just handle shit his way.
Yeah. Still, that's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
That's where I would be at with it. I would have a conversation with him, but also I would just, even just in y'all's relationship, I would sit down ground rules, like hills you'll die on. Like, yeah. I don't like, to me, but to me, cheating is like, to some people, it's like, oh, if you make out with a guy, like, I can probably get over that. Not me. Like, if I, it's not even like a trust thing. It's a respect thing. It's like, if I was hugging a female for too long, that's disrespectful to her. Like, I don't even, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I don't know.
Like a front to front hug. Like, okay, the way Erica Kirk hugs JD Vance, like, that's too much.
Okay, that was different. The way she's like caressing his fucking head and shit.
That's crazy, dude. Like,
yeah.
if I see my wife engaged in that, we're having problems. Like,
yeah, I mean, I can agree with that. Like, that's an overt like sign of affection for another dude.
Right. And I'm not cool with that. That's what I'm talking about. Like,
regular hugs, though. I mean,
no, not regular hugs. I'm saying where it's like that, where it's overt, like something's not right.
Yeah, I can get down with that. Like I said, I have really high tolerance. And the thing is, I don't think that she would ever do anything like that. At least not at this point. So I'm not too worried about it. Like, I asked her.
It's also scary for you though, because you're in a modern era where modern females seem to be really, or just people in general. Not necessarily, it's not fair to blame women, but it's just they're out of pocket.
Yeah,
it seems like they're more like the moral compass of civilization right now in America seems really baffling to me.
I think it's probably fine. Well, I don't know. I mean, she's, like I said, she's pretty conservative. She was kind of, raised in Bible Belt, and
so she was raised right, so. and you're not. So that's
I was raised very similar, aside from the Jewish part. But maybe that's
that's looking just like God. You just pop out tunnels and shit. I'm here.
Yeah. No, I mean my dad's like a 3-time Trump voter. We have huge arguments about politics. And my mom, like up until very recently, was fairly libertarian. Like I was thinking about it and I couldn't quite remember my first time voting. The first time I voted was 2016 presidential election, and I voted
Right.
for Gary Johnson.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
I mean, it makes sense why you're so good at this is because of that balance, I think. And I think you're also, because you have that in your on your foundation, it makes where you're kind of being contrarian,
mhm.
right, to yourself, kind of, by going the way you did. Like, you listen to Destiny, who's a fucking, like, a joke of the political debate field. Like, he really is. He gets destroyed by everybody now. He used to be really
That's
good
a
in the past.
crazy
In
bro. You have
well,
not watched
in
any of his
no,
recent
no, no.
stuff.
In the past, he was kind of respected because he was one of the only liberals that would go out and debate, right? Because back during 2016 through 2020, whatever, he was really the only He was the only one. Kyle Kalinske and all those guys would never do it. They would always act. They talk a big game, but they would never show up, right?
Mm.
But Destiny kept showing up, and I think what happened with him is he got the internet got to him, and then his private life got outed, and so that's always in the back of his mind, and I think it screws him up in his debates because he looks frantic. He always looks like he's super high on Adderall. Like, he does the whole thing with his mouth. Like, he's kind of incoherent. At least the ones that I've watched. I don't watch them all the time, but the
I
ones
think
I've
that
seen,
is
he doesn't do a good job of portraying his message like he used to. Like, I would say Cenk Uygur is doing a better job than him, and that's crazy.
oh bro, come on,
And that's,
no.
and that's crazy because I would never
Well,
normally I wouldn't say that, but Cenk has been right. He's also arguing on the right side of history right
Shank
now.
is
But
so much more unhinged than Destiny is. Bro, I don't even want to be the guy who has to defend Destiny. Like I don't care. Like I'm
well, okay,
not personally invested,
but
but
the,
I'm
the
just
point
talking.
is that my point to all that was to say that, like, you're doing good at this because I think, like, you gravitate towards that, but with
Well,
the better background.
I think
So I
my
think that gives you a good stance on stuff.
well, I think the other thing is I'm really good at understanding other people's arguments. And like you said, kind of putting myself in their shoes. I think the problem with a lot of people these days, and this is kind of where I was getting to with like our conversation about left versus right. I think a lot of people don't understand what motivates people these days. Like, I think Nelson's take that like Charlie got killed because he's a Christian and not because he's a huge political figure is crazy to me. Like, it's so out of touch with what I think the vast majority of people would say, and
Uh,
it's like,
I think that's a hard one because I think because so much of his politics were based in his religion or his faith,
well,
they kind of go hand in hand. So I don't know if you could say one's over the other because they kind of go hand in hand. Because all of his topics that would be controversial were based on his faith.
yeah, but that's
Because
kind
he
of
wasn't really
everybody though,
controversial.
because
Yeah, but he's not. He's not
everybody's
controversial though. Think about it. What are his
everybody's
stances that are crazy? He didn't have any. Not really.
so everybody's politics are or everybody's everything is going to be downstream from their religion or lack thereof. Like, so by
Yeah,
that
which is why
logic,
the atheists of the world, the left, is a death cult because y'all is downstream from their fucking. You opened the door for it. I had to say it.
well,
No,
I actually wanted to argue about that specific point at some point, but I don't even know where to go. You do this thing where you say something completely irrelevant and it fucking throws me for a loop and we go completely the opposite
I'm sorry.
direction.
So
Um
okay, so what I was saying, so
no,
to get you back
oh,
on track.
everything is
But you got it.
downstream from religion. So
Okay.
theoretically, every time anyone kills someone, it's because it's religion. Like, say some, person who's in a gang because they were have poor morals, you could say, "Oh, well, that guy killed another gang member because he's not, following his religion or whatever." Like, you could
No,
this argument just
you
turns absurd if you follow
you
it to
brought
its
up
logical extremes.
you brought up MLK,
Yeah, I think
and
that's a good
he
analogy.
he was killed by the government, but he was killed like that's a. I mean, his family sued the government for basically that and won. But okay, if you don't believe me, go look it up. They sued they sued the FBI. He was killed by the government. I don't. I think he was a pastor, right? So what makes him controversial is the fact that he was quoting the Bible, was he not, when he was talking about all men are created equal in the eyes of God? I mean, that's a biblical
That's what I'm
take.
saying is he was controversial because of his political activism, but his political activism is downstream, like you said, from his religion.
Well, I was just using those two scenarios. So I think Charlie and MLK is a good example of like their faith is part of the controversial part. Like it wasn't like Charlie Kirk was getting he wasn't controversial because he was like pro conservative on the financial side of things. He didn't get killed for that. That'd be political. So if somebody was like, you're pro trickle down economics, right? Like that's not what he got killed for. He was killed according to the official narrative, which I don't believe, was because of the trans stuff. Well,
Yeah,
that's
the
because he and
culture war
he has that
stuff, the race stuff,
right.
trans stuff. He's more
Well,
divisive
he
on
has that
stuff like
stance
that.
because of his faith, because his faith taught him that that was wrong. So that's why it gets
Yeah,
that's where it gets
but
complicated.
in the mind, what I'm saying is in the mind of the guy who went home, theoretically, assuming he wasn't bribed by Israel or something, in the
Right,
mind
right.
of the guy who was killing him, who went
Oh, I
home,
see.
got a
Oh,
gun, pointed it at him, he's killing him because of his politics, not because he goes to
not
church every weekend and loves Jesus.
yeah, but that's yes, in that guy's mind, I would think.
That's what matters to me,
Well,
not
according to the official story, that's where it gets complicated because yeah. So if we're gonna go off the lie, then uh,
That's what I'm talking. When I'm
yeah, I'm trying
talking
to think.
about the reason they
Yeah,
die, I don't mean. That's what I mean. Is the reason somebody would kill them. That's why I
yeah.
said to Nelson, and I mean, obviously he's not here to defend himself, but I mean, he'll listen to this,
Just
and
beat
I
him
guess
over
he'll
the head,
tell
dude.
us.
He's not here to defend himself. Just
Yeah.
keep hitting him. It's fine.
No. What I told him is your ideology impacts how you affect the world, but it's the you affecting the world, your politics, you trying to change things in the real world that are the things that can be controversial and would be the reason somebody would kill you. So that's why I said, like, if Charlie Kirk was just a very popular religious figure, I don't think he would have been a political or would have been a target for violence in the same way that because he's a huge profile political figure with like a a small side of religion, then
Well,
he's
it's
a
also
target at that point
he was
for people,
also he
for
was
crazy
also a
people.
kingmaker, right?
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, and he had the um, uh, God King Trump, and he was in his ear, right? I mean, he was one. I mean, according to many people, he was the sole person that was preventing Trump from going after Iran in his first term.
I don't know if he was the sole one, but
That's what they say. That's
there
what
were a
they
lot
say.
of
That can be
people
bullshit.
there were a lot of people reeling in Trump during his first term, and
Well, they
now
should
we're
have been here
kind
for
of
they fucked up. Well, yeah.
yeah.
So, but I don't. So I don't know if um yeah, I guess that if we go with that narrative, and that narrative is correct, and he was shooting him because of the trans thing, then I guess you would have to say it wasn't because of his religion, even though his the reason why he spoke against those things was because of his religion.
Yeah.
To that person, it didn't matter.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That was exactly my point. I
Yeah,
don't know. I
that's
guess I didn't
that's
explain it well enough to Nelson, but that's
well, it's also
what I
hard
was
to do
trying to
over
say.
text.
Yeah.
It's irritating, but
Yeah.
that seems that I can get on board with that. But I still revert back to the way. But he wouldn't have those opinions without his faith.
Yeah. But I mean, theoretically, so well, James Tallarico roots a lot of his political beliefs in faith, no matter how warped you think it might be. But if somebody killed James Tallarico, could you,
Very.
no matter if somebody killed James Tallarico, would then you say,
It'd be
oh,
for
he killed him
blasphemy.
because of his faith? Like,
No, it'd be for his blasphemy,
well,
not for its politics. It'd be the opposite. And your argument should be for the opposite. I think
no,
because
because
he would be
it,
killed for his blasphemy. Yeah, that dude says wild
that's
shit, bro.
the well, there you go. You're putting yourself in the mind of the person who killed him, not in his own mind. Because what I'm saying is using Nelson's logic, Nelson would have to concede that he was probably killed for his religion. So you can use that with anybody. I
Well,
mean,
well, no, but I don't think tell it. What's his name?
James
Tollerito.
Tallarico.
That what he's being like criticized for is because the way he's trying to use faith to push his leftist extreme ideologies that are crazy. That's
You know,
not
people
rooted
use
in
faith to push their rightist
sure,
extreme
but
shit
like
too.
when
I mean,
you say things like trans kids and wear them like all the things he's been talking about, it's like, dude, what are you talking about? That's not in the Bible. What are you saying? And trying to maneuver the word of God into like
bro, everybody
somehow
maneuvers
that
the word of God. Come on now.
no, I get
You
I'm
know
with
this as
you.
well as I do. I mean, you've watched the
I'm
same
with you,
debates, I'm
but
sure.
But with him, they would be because of his blasphemy. That's what would cause him to, you know what I'm saying? Like if somebody was to do that, it'd be for blasphemy, not for his healthcare for all stance. Right? That's not what he's going to be getting murked for. It would be for his
They would be
blasphemy.
killing him because they think it's blasphemy. I would agree with you there.
Yes.
Yeah, because I mean, we can't
Yeah.
know unless we have God to ask, which we don't. Um, well, I
Yeah.
mean, not next to us. I mean, theoretically, he could be out there, but he's not appearing on the Split the Difference live
Right.
stream.
Which would be like the worst decision he's ever made. Like to show
I mean,
up
that'd be
here.
awesome. That'd be crazy.
Well, you would be Judas. That would be terrible. You'd be in trouble. That's not good. I'd be like, no,
I
bro,
don't maintain any
he's a good
liability
one.
for the actions of any of that stuff. Okay, so I'm curious. Do you think, because we're talking about empathizing with other people's argument, do you think that the left, or sorry, the problem is the left is too broad of a term because I know the left makes it sound like hyper progressive, but do you think that broadly the Democratic Party is a death cult because they are pro-choice?
No, pro-choice is one thing, but when they're pro-abortion, that's different. And what I mean by that is like I've met these people in real life. So this is not just based on the internet realm, but there is a lot of street interviews where you can see. And these street interviewers do go to like your more left-based cities. Like they'll go to Seattle, they'll go to Portland, Oregon, they'll go to Austin, Texas, they'll go to California and interview these women that are just like batshit crazy, and they have like abortion celebration parties and stuff
Yeah, that's
like that.
cringe.
That stuff right there, dude. That's what, in my opinion, that's the death cult. There's also the late term abortion people that are pro that. Like that's crazy. I don't know why anybody would ever take that stance.
Yeah, but
That's
do you think that's
that's
the mainstream? Do you think that's like the
no, no,
broad
no, no, no,
base?
no, no, no. I'm just talking about the minority.
Okay.
But their voices are so loud that like it starts to like infect policy, like you saw in you saw in Colorado. Colorado passed it. There's 4 or 5 other states that are getting ready to pass it. That I saw. That could be untrue. You could probably fact check that. But so I think when you saw the Roe v. Wade get overturned, you started seeing the extreme go the other way, just to like fight back. And I think that's death culty. I think the way they well, it's kind of hard to say because there's even an argument, and this my stances on all this has changed very recently because of how bad this administration is and how bad some of the people that voted for this administration are backing him, and so it's making me go like, you're a death cult because you're teeter-tottering with World War III right now. The right is right, and if you're defending that, you're a death cult because you're wishing death upon us because you think Jesus is coming back. That's a
Well,
death cult. Right, so I could play this for both sides.
I think you're just, well, I appreciate that you can play it from both sides, and I don't want to be the one to defend their actions, but I think you're just being very broad. Like, on one
that's
hand,
what you told me to be broad. You said
well,
generally.
yeah, but
You said that,
well,
not
you're
me.
being overly broad in a way. Like,
Oh, okay.
just because there's a world where they like what I'm saying is empathize with them a little bit to point at them and say they're a death cult. Like the death cult implies that they want everybody to die. Well, what they want is quote
Oh, yeah,
unquote
but
a safer world and to defend
well,
our allies.
nobody fits that narrative. That's not what that means. Like, I think death cult, the way it's used now in a political sphere, is like they're driving
Someone
the
whose
human race to
ideology
death.
logically concludes with everybody dying.
Right, but they don't even necessarily know it. Like the people in the death cults don't know that's what they're doing. Like they didn't know drinking the Kool. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that drank the Kool-Aid, the leading up to that point, they didn't realize they were in a death cult.
Okay,
That's
all
what
right, I can
that
see
does that
that.
make sense? So
Yeah,
that's
I
what
guess when I think
that,
death
again,
cult, I
that
think
applies to both sides. And prior to this year, I would not have said the right was on that side, but now they are. But prior to that, I would say the left is very much that way. And I'm trying to think of like different policies and stuff that I could point to that would maybe help you see that. Oh, I know. Like so, like the push for the Green New Deal. That's a death cult. Like it's death sentence. Like as soon as you turn on going green globally, like there's been the other side was like all these other scientists, like environmental scientists and stuff, are saying, dude, overnight you're going to kill millions of people in the third world. Like we can't sustain. Like so, we took a vast majority of people out of poverty because of capitalism and the free market, right? That started going away due to crony capitalism and all the other things. But because of capitalism and the big oil and making all these products out of big oil, it started pulling people out of poverty, right? And so yes, that is bad. It causes pollution. I don't disagree with that. But the more you start pushing for like solar and wind farms and shit like that, that takes a ton of minerals and slave labor and all the things that's and all the bad stuff it does for the environment. Pushing for
I
like
mean,
Teslas,
proportionally though, it's way better.
not yet. So like when you look at a Tesla, one Tesla vehicle, it hasn't touched 5 continents before it's made. Like that, and that's not how. That's just not the case for like regular vehicles. So because of all the different parts that have to go into batteries and stuff, so it's insane the way we can't recycle batteries. We just ship them over
Yeah,
to
but the
China
thing is, I'm pretty sure Teslas break even with the uh,
after
net
so many
impact after
years.
like tens of, like 70,000. I think 70,000 miles might even be high. But like you can measure these things. You can measure the net impact on the environment,
You got to
and
be careful of that though,
even
because those numbers are skewed, and like you'll have credible. And I like to say credible because some people are not very credible, right? Like I wouldn't say Neil deGrasse Tyson is very credible at this point, but there are credible scientists on both sides that
Neil deGrasse
would debate
Tyson.
that. Oh, he's a
Bro, don't fucking
lunatic.
hate on Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's
He's a
insane.
lunatic. He's like pro. Anyway, I'm not gonna go into it.
Oh my god.
He's a. I used to love that dude.
There's like
He's
random
batshit
people who
crazy.
are landmines for you.
Yeah,
It's like I step on
fucking.
the Neil
Uh,
deGrasse Tyson bomb and it just explodes through a bunch of
yeah,
random
yeah.
moon landing
Go
bullshit.
his he's insane. So no, but like the Green New Deal, like you can't sustain our way of life across the globe, not just America, without there being like with cutting off oil the way that the Green New Deal is trying to do.
Wasn't the
It's
entire
insane.
point of the Green New Deal to like gradually transition by incentivizing
And they were
incentivizing
no,
green energy?
it was also high taxes on the middle class. It was always going to do that. It was just I don't think you don't penalize us the working people, right, for your mistakes. And by your mistakes I mean the big powers around the world, the governments. They're the ones that are causing all the problems, not the people. Period. So I just don't. I'm not with that. And so when you have the Democrats pushing for all this green energy that was funded by Russia, funded by China back in the '70s, because they were the ones that control all the green shit. That was well. So
Yeah, but
Russia didn't
doesn't green
Russia didn't
energy?
control the green shit, but they were pushing their gas and stuff. So the
Yeah.
more that other countries went green, the more that Russia profited. So they were pumping
Wait,
money into
how?
NGOs and stuff.
Wait. How does Russia profit if countries go green? Because that reduces
So
their
go
reliance on oil.
No, so France by example was going. They went with a lot of nuclear plants. I don't know if you're aware of this. And then because the Green New Deal shit, I'm saying that because it's a term that everybody recognizes. Because they were pushed, there's this new initiative to make all these countries go green, right? And everybody started putting pile of money into this whatever it's called. I can't remember what it's called. They started shutting down their nuclear plants, and so they became really reliant on Russia for their natural gas, right? Because to them that was more green
Okay.
because you go look this up and they shut it all down. Well, that all backfired when the Ukraine war started. They got fucked, and so there was that. There was also you're gonna catch me. My brain's too tired for all this. I can't remember. All this was from back like
Well,
6
I
years
mean,
ago. So
this is
I'm
so
trying to
far
remember
off
on the
the
fly.
fucking like I don't know. See, this is I want to talk
Well,
about broader policy like ideas.
sorry.
Like we don't need to be
The
specific
point
about
is
the Green New
that
Deal.
was a death cult to me because the way they were pushing for these policies that were just never going to work, which is why they all get died off anyway
That's
because
just
they realized they weren't going to work.
that's just bad policy. I mean, like there's certain
Like my
that's like
my
saying, well,
Mustang with no cats is
is
not the
capitalism a
problem,
death cult?
man. I think
Right now?
it's hard for me to say because I feel like part of me wants to say yes because capitalism, the term is not a death cult, but the people that are
Is
the people
American
that take.
capitalism right now a death cult?
But see, I wouldn't think. I think a lot of, like the libertarian folk would say that this is not this is like a crony capitalism because we're ran by oligarchs
But
at this
still,
point.
well,
So I don't.
whatever American capitalism is. So you think right now, the capitalism we have as it is, timestamp, whatever, 9 o'clock,
Right.
that's a death cult.
The people that believe in it, you mean?
Well, just
That's what you're referring to?
our system right now, our capitalist system
Yeah,
as it
I
is.
think as it is right now, which I'm going to clarify is crony capitalism because the government is so embedded with these big companies and the transfer of wealth that happened during COVID. I just think the rich is getting so much richer and the poor is getting poorer and the middle class is shrinking day by day. Yeah, it seems like this is like not good for the whole West in general.
So you can have a good idea, right? You know what they say. It's about the good intention, good intentions or whatever. Like you can have a good idea, and that's the thing is, I see a lot of these things, Green New Deal, whatever, and the intent is like, okay, let's try to build a better world where we're less reliant and less polluting, or less reliant on non-renewable resources and polluting less. But then I feel like you look at it and you're like, oh well, that's a death cult because this could have so and so bad outcome. But like that's what I'm saying is
Well, yeah,
the
the
ideology
intent,
matters more to me. Like we can
the intent,
change the policy to make it better, but the
yeah.
core ideology is what matters more.
Well, well, first, I don't even subscribe to the fact that oil is an unrenewable resource.
Well, we can't make more.
Yeah, well, no, apparently. So there's some scientists that say that's the blood of the earth, and so it's always creating more.
Well,
It
it
never
depends
runs
how
out.
fast, right? I mean, we're always
Right? Yeah.
creating more Tomahawk missiles,
Right.
but
Right.
eventually we'll
Right. Right.
fucking run out if we keep shooting them at brown people. So
Right. 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 No, agreed. So, but I'm saying like I don't. The way they always sold it to us, like it was dinosaur bones, is not true. Right. So
well,
it's like,
functionally non-renewable is how I guess I would say it. Because
well, whatever the case, like I'm all for like trying other fuel and trying to. I'm always trying to. I think it's always best to not try to pollute the earth in the best way possible. Right. And I just don't think we should penalize the American people for what the government does bad, because they're the ones that are causing all the problems. Literally, they're so if we believe nuclear bombs are real, it's the governments that are setting them off in the ocean
well,
to test them.
my point
Like that's horrific.
is
Like
pointing at something like I don't care as much about the actual policy itself. I care more about the mindset of the people passing it, because there's a lot of times that have happened in the government where a bill passes and there's unforeseen circumstances. This is why we have courts. Medical
well, yes,
marijuana passed.
every bill,
Yeah, medical marijuana passed in the state of Georgia, and we didn't have medical marijuana for like 3 years because they fucked it up so bad that still wasn't technically legal, even though they passed the bill. Like there were some weird technicalities. I've been a part of a committee hearing where a senator was trying to pass a bill. He amended this bill, and the bill would have accidentally retroactively made marijuana illegal, medical marijuana illegal, when he was trying to make other stuff illegal. And like you have the Department of Agriculture here, and they're like, you shouldn't pass this because it would fuck everything up on the other side of stuff. So crazy shit happens, right? So say you're right, and
well,
the Green New Deal was sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Say you're right, and the Green New Deal would have these negative outcomes.
Yeah.
As long as the mindset of the people who pass the laws is correct, they will fix that bill. Now, obviously, Congress doesn't work perfectly. It's very slow.
No,
but
and once you give power away, that you can never get it back.
I hate that
historically. But it's true. Unfortunately, it's just true within reason. I mean, there is.
Yeah.
So that's where it gets tricky, Ricky, right? So I don't like my example. So I think everybody in America, 99% of us agree that Trump giving glyphosate. What do you give them? My brain's not working today. Immunity, past and future.
Immunity for a lawsuit or whatever. I don't know if civil immunity or how you describe it, but yeah.
Right. So I think we can all agree, left and right, that's bipartisan. That's wrong.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Can we undo that? I don't know. I don't know how he's passing it, but that's that sort of thing. To me, that's death culty, because if you're of the mindset that he can do no wrong, you're literally killing people with that. With that policy alone, you're killing people. Literally. Like that's not. I'm not even being hyperbolic. That's literal. Right. So I mean, and I feel like that's the same way with the left on their green stuff. Now their intent might be better. Is it better than his?
I just feel like you're not. I feel like you're not being nuanced.
It's very nuanced.
No, because I
I'm
feel
giving
like you
grace
see
to the
something
left over the right.
Well, I mean that doesn't mean you're nuanced. It just means you're being right. Oh, but
I mean it is. It's true. I mean, there's not.
I think to see something like that and just to take it and dunk it in the trash and be like, oh, that's terrible and it's a death cult is like.
Well, I'm using it it's hyperbolic, but yeah. I'm using it for the argument that we're having.
Okay.
That is a crazy thing for him to do. And so if you're supporting that, you're part of a death cult because you're literally killing people. Right? Right? I mean, I don't know how do you defend that?
I mean, there is
we're gonna take the word of the guy that says he's the best drawer ever and he can draw the whole Middle East and tell you exactly. Like, remember that
shit is hilarious. That RFK quote.
Right, but he's defending him. The guy, so RFK for the last 20 years has been fighting against that shit, trying to get it banned. And then Trump gives him immunity and he defends it, bro.
I mean, the funniest thing
His
about that
life's work.
is how Trump said that he doesn't draw ever when the whole Epstein thing came out with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
letter
yeah.
with the figure of the
Right.
woman. Or he's like, I never draw. Everyone knows I don't draw. And then of course RFK, bro. I mean, it's a shit show. But yeah, I don't know. I
It's
try,
his brain worm.
like
That's all it is.
like I said, I try to understand where people are coming from. So like, I understand that even though the policies they want are bad, like I know their intention is not to be racist or oppress poor people. Like I know somebody who thinks trickle down economics are awesome. It isn't. Well, there obviously some of them are just people who want to take advantage of lower class or whatever, but there's a
Yeah,
lot of people who
that one's
genuinely think it's
complicated.
good.
Yeah, they do, and that's like my grandpa, by example, would think that's still the best thing
Yeah.
ever. And it's like, no, that doesn't work. So, but that I don't think that's not malicious in intent or thought, or not intent, but it's not malicious in like in ignorance. But I don't know if you could say that about the left with the green stuff. Like they've heard a lot of them have heard the arguments, and we're still passing it anyway. Like the dude that even the big advocates that all fly their private jets to everywhere they're going. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? The carbon footprint. I have a private jet. Like, it's asinine. And
Yeah,
again, they
but
always want to tax us who have nothing to do with anything.
well, I mean, they
What you and
tax
I do,
everybody.
well, but right, but they're not. But what you and I do, right, with our carbon footprint is not making a dent at all anywhere. It's what they are doing on a large scale globally, and it's horrific what they do. The militaries of the world. Like there's a whole what's her name? There's a famous investigative journalist. She wrote a whole book about how bad during the whole climate era where everybody was arguing about it. She wrote a book about how bad the U.S. military was. We outpollute every country by a
Oh,
large,
it's
like by a
crazy. I
mile.
mean, we have a bunch of businesses by military bases, and it's better at some than others. But I was just at one, and I mean, they're like the air quality is so trash because they're
It's
constantly
horrific,
like burning a bunch of shit, and all
and
the
they leave.
gunpowder they're from the
Well, they also
tank
have to
rounds and
run.
shit they're shooting.
Well, they have to run all their equipment all the time to keep them working. So they'll just have diesel motors by the thousands all over the world just running every day. Like
Yeah, so
just shit so what, can we not do that and then
yeah, but
not
why
tax me
why
and
can't we do
you?
both? Like, can we not make?
No,
Can we not try
I
to
don't
get
want
better at making solar panels to where we have some more energy production, and then
that.
simultaneously change the way
That
the
was
military
yeah,
works?
yeah. That was never the right's argument that I was subscribed to. They were never against not trying to do
Bro,
the green stuff. They were saying don't penalize the people that are doing it the way we're doing it right now. Right? That's because that's
yeah,
what the
but
whole thing was. That's what their argument was never to get rid of green. That was nobody said that.
what? Oh my God. Okay.
That I
So
saw. That
wait,
I
is
saw.
that not
To
the
be
same
fair,
argument with glyphosate though? It's like don't penalize the people who are doing glyphosate. Just figure out a better way to do it.
no, because that's not what they're doing. He's giving
That
immunity.
well, it literally is what they're doing. It's saying don't penalize the people who are doing the bad thing, right? The bad thing being polluting or
Right?
glyphosate. Don't penalize those people for doing the bad thing. Just get people to do the good thing, or let them
But
do the good thing gradually.
are they doing that? Like so, like
Well,
that
they
would be, that logic doesn't work because like whenever there's oil spills, like find the shit, and they do get fined. Like the oil companies, they
yeah.
get fined and stuff for that. You know what I mean? So like that doesn't really apply because they're not allowing that to happen.
Well, you're saying we shouldn't penalize people for burning gasoline and using fossil fuels. I just think that's like almost a direct parallel to the glyphosate argument.
No, penalizing us like the people like via taxes.
Do you think farmers should be penalized for using glyphosate?
That's a really tricky one because they're kind of controlled by the government right now and
Well,
have
do you
been for
think independent farmers should be penalized for using glyphosate?
uh well they can be, but
Non-subsidized, I guess.
yeah, I don't. Well, that's where it gets really complicated because I've only like dabbled in this subject here and there, especially now since I've been watching or listening to a World War II thing, because that's when all this started. Uh, when we went to big ag, that's when it started causing all the problems. So should they be penalized? Yeah, I think now that we know it's poison, and this goes across the board. If you knowingly poison people, yes, you should be put in jail.
Isn't that the same as like
knowingly. Like, well, I guess it gets complicated because you don't
because
want to
you're
say,
knowingly polluting the environment by burning fossil fuels at the same using that argument.
yeah, but they have regulations in place to where they're trying to do it as clean as possible,
But
right?
still,
So, and which we do. So that which is because like the way we do fossil fuels in America is light years better than how they do it in China, by example.
well, yeah,
Like they
but
don't
now we're
even have.
switching back to coal and all sorts of other bullshit for like no
Well,
fucking reason, just because Trump loves
what
coal.
Trump just did some weird thing that was I was reading about it. It sounded horrific. To where they're something with the Gulf of Mexico, where he's allowing
America, Gulf of
and
America, careful,
right,
he'll sue you.
and he's allowing some kind of crazy underwater drilling, and he's relieving a lot of sanctions that was like protecting the wildlife and stuff. I didn't read into it. I just saw the headlines
I
on
mean,
it,
I'm sure
and
that's I 100%
if
believe
that's
that.
true,
That sounds completely on
it's
brand.
yeah, it sounds insane. So like I'm not for that. So I'm very hippie in the environment
Yeah,
realm. Like, but well, I say hippie. It's not really hippie. It's more of the conservative, what how do they say conservationalists,
yeah.
conservatives.
I
So like your hunter types, that's where I'm at. Like they're very big on environmental issues, and so they're more by the policy. So like the right wing, the small minority of the right wing that go hunt, that are actually politically active in trying to preserve our state-owned lands and hunting and all that, they do way more for the environment than the leftist hippie has ever done in their entire life.
what do you think
So
about Doge laying off a bunch of park rangers?
I don't know. I didn't even know Doge was still around. I thought all that was
No,
kind of
this
like
was
canceled.
a year ago or whatever. Back
So
before
what
we
what was
thought Trump was even
what
as
was their
good as bad
reasoning?
as he was. Waste, fraud, and abuse.
Well, right, but what were they doing? Because
Evidently not enough for Doge's standards of productivity.
without knowing anything, right? So just going off what you say, I'm 100% against that.
Okay. Have you seen the thing about the national park card where Trump
Oh
changed the
yeah,
national park pass?
you told me about it. Yeah, I wasn't with that either. So like it's crazy because since I've met you, you and I are becoming more and more aligned. And I think that's really cool. If you think about it truly, because I don't think you and I disagree on a whole lot anymore.
Yeah, but well, I mean, the problem is like there's talk about the Overton window. I mean, Trump has shifted the Overton window so
Oh,
far
it's I don't even know
into
which side. Where's it going? Which
insanity. I
side is
don't
it
even.
going?
Well, so
Which side is it
there's
going to?
some people who
This way? Like,
yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. Is there's a lot of people who talk about I forget. I was watching some debate and someone talked about this, but people normally think about it in like a left-right axis. But there's also like a y-axis that
yeah,
is like
it's like this.
authoritarianism. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you
It
have
goes. It's a square.
libertarianism and authoritarianism. I think are
Yeah,
the
yeah.
opposing sides of that. And like Trump is
Right.
just so far into authoritarian where like he's
Well, no, there's
controlling.
also communism. There's also
Well,
communism too, right? It's a four quadrant square.
yeah, but I don't know how. I mean, capital or communism would be, I guess, like
China.
left authoritarianism, and then
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
authoritarianism would be fascism or something like that. I don't know how
Right.
exactly to
Right.
break that down.
Which I've heard a recent argument that the Nazi right or the Nazi regime was not. Some people argue it wasn't right,
Well, because
which is
it has
confusing.
socialism in the name, so they're like, oh, it has to be left, but I don't. It's like whatever.
Yeah, I'm just now starting to read or learn about it, so I'm kind of confused. But
Yeah,
yeah, no, I just think it's kind of. I wonder how many people are like you and I, because the more people I talk to at work and stuff about this, who are all like you know the line of work I'm in. I work
hmm
with like dudes, you know what I mean, and the more I'm talking about, overwhelmingly, people are where you and I are.
yeah. I mean, it's
Overwhelmingly,
so
so
my
they've that's good, right? That's a good thing.
yeah. I just the question is like what comes from it. Like my business
Who,
partner is a
yeah,
three-time Trump voter because he's like a low taxes guy. He's very trickle down economics guy. Um,
the Reagan scam.
yeah, and even he's like, this shit's crazy. It's worse than I ever thought it'd be. And his wife, who is like zero political engagement, she's like, oh, I'll just vote for whoever my husband tells me to vote for.
Yeah,
She literally told me, she's like, nah, don't ask me to vote for this guy again. So
right.
when you're at that point, then shit's getting
So
real.
I it's interesting because my daughter's talking shit over there. It's interesting because I don't know who they on either side who do they run. JD Vance killed it. He can't run again. So I mean he can run, but he's not going to win.
I mean, there's
A
some
lot of people are
decent.
saying Thomas Massey. They're saying Thomas Massey is going to make a run, and I don't know how he loses at this point because he can get both sides easily.
Yeah, but the problem is like I don't know. Maybe I'm too like internet brained. Like he does well on like Twitter and all that shit. But he's
Yeah,
still, man, like the MAGA extremists are powerful still. Like
there,
that
but
33% of the party or whatever it is are so fucking brainwashed that like
But yeah,
I
they
don't
won't
know.
let him win. I don't think they'll let Thomas Massey win. He doesn't have. There's no way the GOP lets him win. They can't stand. They've always hated him. So I
Yeah.
don't know how he gets very far. But as far as like the populist movement, I think
So you're
he can
saying who
win
does the
hands
right
down. But
run or who does the
or
left
either,
run?
I don't know
I
either.
mean,
I don't know who.
my business partner really likes Josh Shapiro. I think he's governor of Pennsylvania.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I hear that a lot. Even the right says that that's who they should run.
yeah.
But isn't he gay?
I don't know. That's Pete Buttigieg. Pete Buttigieg, ex transportation secretary, and
Because
was it the mayor
Gavin
of
Gavin
something?
Newsom won't. He won't win.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
too many people know about his skeletons. So I don't think he wins. But he'll run
The
for
problem
sure.
is
But I
Gavin.
don't think.
Like the problem is anyone from California, you're all already losing. Just even if it was the perfect candidate, but they were from California, you're losing like a good chunk of people because they just
Yeah,
won't vote for anyone from California,
yeah.
which is where my business partner is basically. He's literally said he's like if they're from New York, California, or I think Florida or something. No, not Florida because he likes DeSantis, but somewhere else.
That's who the right saying is going to run against DeSantis.
Bro, DeSantis has, I mean, to speak like a Zoomer, DeSantis just has no riz. Like, he's got no
Yeah,
presence. He's fucking weird.
yeah.
Like, I,
But he's easier to deal with than Trump,
yeah.
right?
And
And
he's
he's still a
politically effective. I'll give him that. Trump is
and
terrible
he's still
at
oh
passing
yeah,
policy.
and he's also a neocon still, so like an undercover neocon. So the right will like him because they can still make him do wars. So uh,
Yeah. I mean, I I don't
you
know. Like,
can't either side. They have to run. They have to run on no new wars. They have to run. They have to run on not funding Israel anymore, which is why it's so scary right now with the situation because I think Netanyahu knows that and that they are
well,
willing to do anything and everything for the next 3 years to
yeah.
get their greater Israel,
I
and
think they're
that's
cashing
terrifying,
all
dude.
their fucking blank checks with Trump while they can. And,
Yeah, and so there's no more support for them, like at all. Like the younger generations do not support them, so they're done. They
yeah.
have to figure
So
out how to make it work.
my grandparents like a year and a half ago so I don't know, I don't know how much you know about this, but I don't know, there's this like weird, it's mostly in like the boomer or I guess like boomer and older Jews, where like there's this like sentimentality of like Israel, where like, oh, we need to keep Israel safe because like if some crazy shit ever happens, that's where we got to go so we can
Right.
not get fucking holocausted again. So like there's this like sentimentality there, and I was talking to them a couple weeks ago, and they're like, I don't think we would even go to Israel at this point because of how like politically fucked they are and how just like
Yeah.
terrible Netanyahu is.
That's
So
that's
like
crazy.
yeah, which and like a year and a half ago they were like, just because of I guess like some Nick Fuentes shit and all the some of the weird
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like that, or maybe even just Trump winning. They were like, oh well, we got to be ready to go to Israel just in case. And
right.
now it's so insane that even they wouldn't go there. So I think that just speaks, and they're boomers. So for any younger than that, Israel's just fucked as far as support. I mean
Yeah,
they've
it's
cooked it.
crazy, and they did it themselves.
Yeah,
It's insane,
yeah,
And then they came out and there was like Netanyahu's been funding Hamas upwards of $35 million a month for years. Like when you see that and you go, and then I'm over here like I fucking told you October 7th was planned. I mean, how do you
those
not
two
say that
lines
at this
don't
point?
connect. That's the problem.
What funding the very people that were you were what?
You're gonna make me be overly charitable to people I don't like, which I don't like
And
being.
Charlie Kirk literally said that what 7 days
Well,
before
the
he
thing
died.
is, Hamas is
Come
the
on,
government of Gaza. So,
it's not a government.
y-
That was.
but they
I
are the
mean,
government. They are
they're not a
literally the
government.
government of Gaza. So any
They're not.
money they, who's the government of Gaza then?
They don't have a government. That
It's
was
Hamas, bro. The Hamas is the government of Gaza. They are like the
it's not a
political
government
leaders.
because they were open air prison. That's like saying you have a government inside of a
Okay,
prison wall. Like what are you
well,
talking about?
whatever you want to call it, they're the ones in charge. So if you ever give them any money for like humanitarian shit or anything like that, that's technically funding Hamas. That's all I'm saying. Is that's a
I mean,
charitable
I'll
interpretation
grant
of
you
what you're
that,
saying.
but for $35 million
I
a
don't know. I
month,
listen. I
that's
the
crazy.
all the Middle East shit. It's like it's so far. There's so much history and it's so far above my pay
Yeah,
grade
yeah,
that I
yeah.
look at
Sure,
it and I'm just
sure.
like, I think. I don't know. Like it's it's so fucked at this point. It's like the Hatfields and the McCoys. It's like those two families are fighting
Oh yeah,
for
yeah,
like a
yeah.
bajillion years, and it's like if you ask them who started it, they would probably both say the other people, and they're probably both a little
Right,
bit right. And
right.
like we just got to find a resolution now instead of fucking being obsessed with the past.
So what do you think it's gonna? What is old Trumpy gonna talk about tonight?
Oh God, when does that start? I don't
9,
even
I
know.
think, or an hour from now,
Oh Jesus.
I
I
think.
mean, who fucking knows, man? I mean, it's crazy. The Dow went up like 1,100 points yesterday. It's up 200 today. Like, it's just, I feel like the stock market, everything is like gambling. There's but
It's so bad.
I don't, I'm not huge on like stock tradings and like I see like Wall Street bets and shit pop up on Reddit, and everyone's like, yeah, literally everything is a meme coin now. Stocks are meme coins, gold's a meme coin, like
Yeah,
because gold and silver. I mean, you seen like silver went up to $125 an ounce, and now it's down to like 70. So like it's just crazy that whatever's fucking happening. I mean,
I
who
don't.
fucking knows, man?
I don't know. It's just it's really disconcerting how much it costs to live now compared to how it used to be, and it's only getting worse. I saw a metric the other day that said, um, if you and I were alive in the Roman times and we were vampires and we earned $500,000 a day in Rome, right, since Roman times to now, that still does not equate to the amount of money that Trump spent in 1 year.
Yeah,
Think
that
about that.
checks out.
Like what? Like, dude, we're $39 trillion in debt, and we have IOUs for 150 trillion. It's like I don't, and I think that's part of the reason why we might be going to war is because this is how we protect that debt. Because if we control the global dollar, right,
Yeah, the
the global
petrodollar.
currency, then we can't. Then there's nothing can happen with that debt. But as soon as we lose that through the bridge or
Yeah, but
whatever they're trying to do,
I don't know. I'm super. I've looked into this argument a little bit.
it doesn't check out
To me, it doesn't because the thing is, Russia and China have been actively trying to get us or get the world off the petrodollar for
forever. Yeah.
infinity, and so everyone's like, oh well, if we if our since we have this rogue nation who's out to get us, who's trying to get us off the petrodollar, we got to reel them in. Otherwise, if they have nukes, then they can just start trading in
No,
the
not
yuan or
that.
whatever.
No, it wasn't that. It's because they started building a coalition that was way bigger than
Yeah,
what
they
we could
have
manage
one
anymore.
though. They have one
But they
already.
not they,
They have
right, but it was never this
BRICS.
big.
Well,
Right, but that's recent. That's my point.
well, now
That's my
it's
point.
getting
It's
bigger because Trump is fucking
because
over all of our allies.
right. No, I agree. But I'm saying like that's why they're doing this because they can start to control the Western
Yeah,
Hemisphere and then that have the
that might be their
it's like,
ideology. They're doing a bad job of
because
it, is what I'm saying.
well I was trying to rationalize it because well, how else do you make sense of everything? Other than saying they have blackmail on Trump or whatever, like because it's clearly for Israel. If
I
it's
think
not the other way,
it could be that.
if it's not for what I said, it's got to be for Israel, greater Israel.
I
It's
think
got to
the
be. I mean, what
either
else
the
is it? Why else would you do it?
either the blackmail thing or like the Venezuela thing went so well, and Trump is like so not in reality because he surrounded himself by people who only suck his dick 24/7 that he maybe thought like in his heart of hearts he literally thought we could just drop some bombs on Iran and leave and we would win.
But that would be all because even Israel benefited from the Venezuela thing too. So I would still think that's the same argument though. It's
Yeah,
still
well, I mean,
Netanyahu,
they could be influencing him, but what I'm talking about, like
right?
in his head, he could have
Oh,
thought that
sure,
like
yeah,
we
agree.
were going to get a
Yeah,
huge
yeah, yeah.
win, we'd get a lot of oil out of this, and he could brag about it. But now we're a month and a half in, 13 soldiers are dead.
Well,
We just
people
removed
have said
sanctions on our enemies, like all this crazy shit.
right and people have said since his first administration that like they would put together videos for him, like his briefings are videos because he won't read.
Yeah,
So like,
Tulsi
which
Gabbard.
it seems like that's true because so many people have said that are still cool with him. Like they didn't even say it as a negative; they were saying it as a positive.
And
So it's like that seems true to me. So
there's recent
maybe I
reporting that his briefings include like are mostly like 5 minutes of just like a compilation of the U.S. bombing Iran and just
yeah
like
I
cool
saw that.
explosions. Bro, he's a toddler. Like, what are we doing? Like,
It's crazy.
it's so like it's like a fucking
Uh,
TikTok video. You got like explosions on the top half and like a little bit of policy on the bottom half. Like, here's your executive orders you're gonna sign today, and he's like watching the explosions as well. I don't know, man, but
it's so bad. It's so bad.
I,
So
I
bad.
mean, I don't know. Like, I just don't know if the MAGA people will vote for anybody else. Like, they're so like Trump would have to give his explicit endorsement. And I honestly feel if Trump said, on his deathbed, he dies and he's like, JD Vance, carry on my legacy. If JD lost the primary, I don't think half of MAGA would show up to vote.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
And then the Republican Party's just
But
cooked.
I don't think that, but dude, we're not very far into this presidency. So much can change. It's not even like there's no point even talking about 2028 right now. But depending on how this war shakes up, I mean, everything goes out the window. Like literally everything.
I mean, everything's already out the window, but yeah.
Sure, but they're handing the midterms to the left.
Yeah, I mean,
and if the left loses it, then they're never coming back because this is a layup. You don't have to do anything really.
Yeah,
just don't say. Well, don't repeat Trump stuff.
The question,
it's pretty easy.
The question is how much they win by. Like, if they impeach Trump and JD's president, I don't know. There's a world where they impeach Trump, which probably is unlikely. But if they impeach Trump and JD just does a fantastic job somehow, that would be nuts.
I think my worldview doesn't say they impeach him. I think they do the show. I think they do the show and tell of it like they did the last time, where he's not going to actually get removed. It's just going to be show and tell for a couple of years because it's good for them because it drives them business for funding and stuff like that. B, he's actually doing what they want him to do because they're all neocons anyway, right? So it's like the establishment, right? So you have your others, the people that the no names, they're not, but the no names in government, they're all part of the same party.
So even if I concede that, which I don't like the whole uniparty bullshit, but even if I concede that, even if I concede that Democrats, what?
How can you not be of that mindset? Whenever he gets praised from both sides before going to war with Iran.
We'll get there.
That's uniparty.
But even if I concede that, even if I was, I don't know, what's a hawkish Democrat person? I don't know. Even if I were Chuck Schumer and Chuck Schumer really wanted the invasion of Iran to happen, which I don't know if he does. Did. But
he does.
Trump is doing such a bad job of it that if I'm Chuck Schumer and I want that to happen, I'm still we got to get this guy out because he's fucking it up.
No, I think it helps him politically though.
Well, that's true, but I wouldn't want him to stay because I agree with the Iran policy. I would want him to stay because he's just driving loads of people to my political base.
You can't do this because we're too old, but you run Bernie in 2028, he fucking nobody beats him.
I don't know.
You just don't.
The whole
Bernie of 2016, you do not.
The Democrat socialist, the socialist part at the end scares a lot of people still.
He does not lose in 2028. I promise you. That there's no way. His movement was matched. The only movement that was close to Trump was his, with that attached to it. I mean, he was huge, dude.
Well,
Webby, that was Webby. Webby was a Bernie bro.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan, Bernie bro. All the podcasts that everybody likes to make fun of, they're all on Bernie's side back then. Theo Vaughn.
Yeah, well, they're all super populist.
Right. So, but that's my point. Is he's only gotten Bernie had he not sold out because he did. Had he not done that, and he ran again in 2028 at a younger age, obviously, I think he wins in a landslide. Especially after all the drama that Trump has caused. How do you lose that ticket? Now there is a chance that there's some writing on the wall that Jocko Willink runs. And if that's Jocko Willink, let's Google it.
An author?
That's a Navy SEAL.
Intense. Jesus Christ.
Oh, dude, you've never heard of Jocko Willink, bro?
I've heard the name before, but I didn't know who the guy is.
He's one of the figures that helped change my life. Sounds too cliche, but I really got put on the right track by listening to his podcast. That dude right there is amazing. Because he said he would only ever run for president if it got really bad. And people were have been tagging him saying, dude, it's time. He was a Navy SEAL commander in charge of Chris Kyle and stuff. He's a bad dude. And he talked about leadership, and he said it's the buck stops with you, and you have to own everything, your wins and your losses.
It's the opposite of Trump.
Well, that's why he was saying it, because they're asking about that. And so he doesn't own up to anything, right? So I think if he runs, he'll run on the right. There's no way. You have zero chance of winning. He will win hands down.
I don't know.
That good.
I think there's.
You don't know who he is, but I'm telling you, he's that good.
I mean, you talk about the uniparty, I guess, or just parties in general. I think there is this big problem where like there's theoretical like political outsiders, and Trump was able to, obviously, to break through, but it's hard when people don't know who you are. Even if your
Yeah, yeah,
policies are
yeah.
perfect, you can't win because you're just not known. That nobody's going to trust you giving you a bunch of money to advertise or anything like that. So, I mean, there's a guy who is running for a Republican primary for governor in here in Georgia, and he seems like a great dude. The guy literally he walked with his dog like 300 miles or like 200 miles all the way to the Capitol to register for the primary, which I think is super dope. Like, it's a cool
Just
like
to, just to see
gesture.
just to see the state.
Yeah, and just
Yeah.
like literally walk the walk. But he's got no chance. Obviously, like he's a nobody compared to the guy
You
who's
say that, but Obama, dude, nobody knew who he was. He won the fucking
he was a
presidency.
fucking
So
senator though. I mean, he was
yeah,
a
but nobody, but nobody knew him though. He was a no name.
yeah. But
You
I
know what I
mean, the
mean?
problem is
He
you
came
got
out of left field.
people who like the guy who's lieutenant governor right now is running. The guy who's AG is running. Like, there's a bunch of way higher profile people that are running. Or Rick Jackson, some billionaire healthcare dude, is
Yeah,
running. It's a huge
that's
thing.
that's going to be a problem. I don't even know. And what's scary is like I think for the longest time people said that local was most important, which I think is true. But now because the federal government's been so bad and they're causing so much inflation and shit, it's almost like federal's more important now because there's not much like you can't like the reason why there's inflation so high is because of federal government, not local. Like you know what I
I
mean?
could
Like so,
see that argument, yeah, but yeah,
I
I could
just I
see
just
it.
made that up on the top of my head. I don't know if that's
I
true,
think
but
it's a
it
good
feels that
point.
way.
I
It
mean,
feels that way.
well, inflation was getting back under control, and Trump keeps fucking it up.
No, that's a lie. I don't believe those numbers at all, dude. Whenever you have shrinkflation going on, like you can't even necessarily prove that. So like if you just the example you give is a bag of chips like back in the day was three-quarters full and now it's half for the same price.
Yeah,
That's
but
a
don't they
form of
usually
inflation.
weigh stuff? Like, usually they like when they do um, the indexes and stuff. It's like price of meat per pound or something like that. I guess you could.
Yeah, but well, meat's also at the highest it's ever been right now,
Yeah,
but that's also due to his bad policies. But
yeah. So they do like coffees,
God, just
banana, meat, oranges, all these
I'm
different
just I
things.
can't. We're in a bad spot because I can't. There's not a whole lot to debate. I'm with you. Like
Well,
I just you
yeah.
know what
I
I mean.
mean,
Like I'm with you.
my
I'm just
point
with you. Like
is, I still think local is very important. I see your point about like the theoretical or I guess not even theoretical at this point. The negative downsides of federal have such huge implications that obviously
right,
federal is more important in the sense that
right,
they control nuclear bombs. Who, if they
right,
shot nuclear bombs at other people, we would all be dying. But like
right.
as far as day to day life on average, you're right. The inflation doesn't. I mean, I still think
It's hard. It's a hard argument, I guess.
both are
But
important. Let's just say vote in
yeah,
all your
yeah, yeah, yeah.
elections, guys. How about that?
And I don't. I'm a hypocrite.
I can't with you. What
Yeah,
would it
I need.
take, man? Like, what would it
Well,
take? That's what I want to know.
part of it is, well, I don't want to be ignorant to voting for the wrong people, and so I just didn't follow any of it. So I don't want to go vote for anybody that, and then I find out later, like, oh my god, this Republican, because in my area it'd be a Republican, it'd be like, dude, you fucking, you took a PPP loan and like, all the shit like that. I just don't agree with, and like you're gonna co-sign everything Trump's doing. I'm not with that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
I just didn't do any homework, and I don't want to co-sign any of these people because I didn't do my homework. So it's on me, really. I would have voted had I done all that. I just didn't keep up with all of it.
Okay, so 2026 comes around, and you have to decide between fucking Ken Paxton and James Tallarico.
Oh, I can't. I'm not voting. I'm not my hill on the. It's females. I put females on a high pedestal, and I can't vote for him for that reason alone. He's anti-woman, dude. I'm out. I'm out.
Which guy?
He, your guy.
Oh,
He's dude. I can't. I legitimately hate him. Like, there's no part of that. I hate that dude. So, and the other guy, the Paxton guy, is just as bad as who we have now. So, I'm not gonna
well,
again.
he's
I won't vote.
worse. Ken Paxton's crazy.
He's
He's
probably
got like
worse.
all
So I'm
sorts of
not.
crazy
So you're
altercations
proving my
and
point. Why would I vote? Why would I vote? What's the point?
because there's a better. One of them has to be better.
Then I
Like,
guess I'll go with Republican then because the shit that the left guy says is insane, dude. I'm sorry, I'm
yeah,
out.
but the problem is like you're looking at literally a hand-picked 8-second quotes
No, I've watched way
transcribed
more than just that.
wrong. One sec, transcribed in the most disingenuous way possible, tailor-made to piss you off version of
Yes,
him.
dude. He is pro trans kids. It stops there. I'm out. You are a fucking fraud. You're a piece of shit, and it's going to come out later that you're diddling kids. And mark my words. We already have a bet on this.
What
It's
do we
going to
do?
happen.
$100 for how long? 4 years or
Yeah, it's
something?
gonna 4 or 5 years. It's gonna happen. I promise you, dude. That's it. Oh, time and time again, it's you're gonna be
So
like, damn it,
what
you're gonna owe me $100.
theoretically, what if
I'm
James
out.
Tallarico's policy on trans people is that there should be no medical intervention until someone is 18 years old?
I'm fine with that.
Well, what if that was his policy? I don't know his
It's
policy,
not.
but
But he says trans kids. I don't even acknowledge that term. That's indoctrination. It's out. I'm out. It's child abuse. I'm out. Sorry. And I'll die on that hill. Right or wrong, that's where I'm at. I will never change.
what if he
Because we
doesn't support
know
any policy stuff for it? What if that's his personal belief and that's what he says, but as far as his actions as a policymaker, he would
I
never
couldn't
take any
trust it.
actions in that way.
I couldn't trust that though. But in that utopia world, and he's also anti-Israel supposedly. Um, I would say I'd have to see some of his other policies at that point. I'd be open to it. I'd have to see more of his
Okay.
policies, like his.
So that's what I'm saying is, in my mind, you shouldn't make your decisions about people's
Oh, but
policies based on
well,
their
he said there was
collections
a
on
lot.
Twitter.
There's a lot. I'm just naming a couple. There's a lot of things that I've seen that I was just like, I'm out. The dude he's a full blown like
Yeah,
crazy. I'm out.
he's pretty out there as far as like on the left side of the spectrum, which is crazy
Yeah,
because he doesn't.
I won't do that. I'm sorry, I just can't. So I'll go with the fucking Warhawk sending more money to Israel every month. Like I can't, you know what I mean? As much as I hate that, I just again, well, I won't vote, but that's I'm just hypothetically, I would not vote for either one of those guys. It's not happening. I'm not doing it because again, you're making me choose between bad and bad. I'm not doing it. I refuse. Which is why I don't ever vote because it ends up being that always anyway.
Yeah, but
You never
it's
get.
bad versus worse. I mean, the thing is, bad, in the sense that nobody's going to be perfect, right? Like,
No, but
if
like that bad, like on both sides, like God, it's so bad,
I
dude.
mean,
If Dave Smith runs because he almost ran last time, or Thomas Massey, I would fucking why because Dave
how you
Smith
feel
lists is
about
evil,
Destiny is how I feel about Dave Smith.
which is crazy because I would love to. You would get destroyed by him.
Yeah, but
You
he
know that, right?
knows way more about like he's
Okay,
book
just
smarts. Honestly, I don't think Dave Smith. Like the thing is,
well, you don't watch his podcast. If you
I
watch
watched
more
the
of his
one with Nick
nuance,
Fuentes.
well, no, but
I've
I'm saying
watched a bunch of his
in
debates on
general.
Peers.
Well, in general, like, well, but that's like
Bro,
Jerry Springer.
when it
If
takes
you
to
watch his nuance videos, that gives you more of an idea of what he would be like. Where he talks about economics, where he talks about stuff that he doesn't talk about in his debates. Like
but
he's really nuanced, and he listens to the experts, and he changes his opinion based on better knowledge. So that, like, to me, that's a good leader. That's what you want. I'm not saying that like he would be. I think he'd be better than most people, and because he's an outsider, right? So in the same way that like I think if what's his name? Jocko runs. If Jocko runs, I'll be on his campaign. Like I will go that hard in the paint for him because that he's the real deal, the real deal.
yeah, I mean,
So
so you don't feel any level of responsibility for not voting? Because I know a
no,
lot of people.
I'm laughing at everybody right now. I fucking told y'all because I think out of the two cans we had last time, this is inevitable. The country is gonna be shit in different ways, maybe, but I think it's gonna be shit regardless. We got
It
thrown.
wouldn't be nearly this bad.
I can't. I think it'd be dude. The border never got closed.
That's not even true. They tried to close the border.
Well, you did prove that was again. I think that was still kind of theater because I knew that wasn't going to pass.
Well,
But even if she did institute that, then fair, I'll grant you
they
that.
would have
But I
voted
don't
for
think
it. Well, the
I
reason
don't
is,
think she would
sorry,
have brought that back out. She would have brought that back out. There's no way. I just
I
don't see
bet
it.
she would
I
have.
just,
The reason they brought it back out, so they tried to pass it, and then Republicans were like, "Oh, we're not passing this because it's got all this extra funding." Which, by the way, that funding
no,
that
I
they
remember
said
you proved all that
passed,
to me.
the
I'm
funding
not.
passed anyways. So then they ran the bill
Yeah, no,
separate. Yeah. So the funding
no.
passed anyways, but
It's just fucking stupid. It's all dude, it just reinforces that there's no left versus right. It's all the same. It's all the
no,
same.
but it.
Like But why did they open it up in the first place? I don't understand that. Why did Texas is trying to cover their borders so they put razor wire up and then the federal government sends down these bulldozers to get rid of it? Like what do we like? Why do you want illegals here? Like the whole thing to make. And then by the way, we're gonna come out with this bill to fix the problem we caused ourselves. Like to me, it's at the end of the day, it just seems like theater, dude. Like it's just like this is all by design. It just seems like the puppet masters are like, ha ha, ha fucking plebs. Like, just, you know what
Or
I
they're
mean? Like,
just super dysfunctional because that's how the world works.
oh yeah, I grant you that. I don't know,
Well,
but it
because
just
that's
seems
the
in my
perfect
Hollywood brain,
the
like I watch
perfect
a lot of
example
movies,
of
you know, I
that
just
is the you know that case where the fucking armless legless guy shot a guy, the armless legless
oh, I saw
cornhole
that.
champion shot a man. Like, I mean, like if that doesn't just go to show like how fucked the world is and how crazy things can be, like nothing else does.
Yeah,
Because that's literally when I saw
yeah.
that story, I was like, in my head, I'm like, this just is the perfect example for Silver of
They
like
have video of him
why
shooting
shit
guns.
is
Like
just crazy.
he can
Yeah.
actually shoot guns
Which,
though.
if you're
What?
that guy, you've got the perfect alibi
Like
up until the
what are you
point
talking about?
you make a video of yourself shooting a gun, you fucking idiot. Like,
God.
he could have been a professional assassin if he never fucking made a video of him shooting a gun and put it on the internet. Nobody would have ever
It's crazy.
suspected him.
It's so wild.
Yeah. All
Anyway,
right.
yeah,
Well,
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know where we go. All I know is that you and I agree more than we used to on like, I would say 60% of things or more.
yeah, we're
That's
getting
a
there.
good thing. You know what I mean? Like that's good. I don't know where we go from here, but that's good, I think.
I mean, we'll see. We need some real candidates to start coming out for these elections so
Uh,
we can.
I I've sent you some Owen Benjamin stuff,
Oh god.
and one of his bits was about you should always have one Jewish friend, but never more than a Jewish friend, because you have more than one Jewish friend, they start to conspire,
I'm a bad
which
Jewish
is
friend though. I mean,
so funny. Oh my, he's part Jewish, by the way. But you should really start following him for his political takes, because I think you'll enjoy his nuance. He's super smart. He's really smart. He's so smart. Dave Chappelle stole some of his bits,
yeah, that's crazy. All
like
right.
legitimately.
Well, Trump, I think, is live right now, so I kind of want to watch.
All right.
He started like 20 minutes ago, or 30,
Oh, okay.
36 minutes ago. Jesus! But I do want to show you something before we hop off live, and I want to tell you more about the personal thing. So we'll
Okay.
stop the stream here and then keep going. Goodbye, anybody who watched this far. Probably not. Sorry, we bored you.
Bye.